Leila Achieng had always known how to survive. In Nairobi, where dreams cost more than rent, she'd mastered the art of hustling, not the loud kind, but the quiet, clever one. The kind that required charm, confidence, and a phone with stable internet. Her tiny apartment in Pipeline was her kingdom. A second-hand ring light, a neat rack of thrifted dresses, and a smartphone with a cracked screen were her tools of trade. She sold imported perfumes on Instagram, booked errands for clients, and sometimes, when the bills piled up, she talked nice to men online. Leila wasn't ashamed. Nairobi had taught her one thing. If you don't chase money, money will chase someone else. So when a message popped up one late night from a man named Daniel Carter, she didn't think much of it. His profile screamed wealth, suits, airports, wine glasses, captions like "work hard, stay humble." "Hi Leila, beautiful smile you've got there." She almost ignored it, but something about his calm confidence caught her eye. His photos didn't look fake, and unlike the usual "hey sexy" types, he seemed mature. So she replied, "Thank you, smiling face with smiling eyes. You seem like someone who appreciates simple beauty." That was the beginning of a chat that would change her life. They talked for weeks. Daniel said he lived in London, ran a small tech firm, and loved traveling. Leila told him she was an entrepreneur in Nairobi, building her perfume brand. She left out the part about borrowing stock from friends and owing her landlord 2 months' rent. But she played the part well. Sweet voice notes, intelligent replies, video calls under soft light. She never lied, not completely. She just edited reality. Soon, Daniel was hooked. He called her every morning before work, asked about her day, and once even sent her money for breakfast. £200. Leila almost cried. That was her 3 months' rent. That night, she whispered to herself, "This man is my ticket out." It started as a joke, but after months of calls, she began to dream. London, a new life, a clean slate. So when Daniel told her, "I'd love to meet you in person, maybe bring you here someday," she smiled and replied softly, "Maybe one day, love." But in her heart, the plan was already forming. She would make him fall deeply, helplessly in love. Then, when he proposed marriage, she'd move to London. And once she got her papers, she'd live life on her own terms. Love was luxury. Visa was victory. One Saturday, as the city buzzed below her window, Leila sat with her best friend, Sasha, a makeup artist and realist. "So this Daniel guy, he's serious?" Sasha asked, lining her eyes in the mirror. "Very. He wants me to visit London." "Girl, do you even have a passport?" Sasha teased. "Not yet, but I'll get one. I have a plan." Sasha looked at her, half amused, half worried. "Leila, I know you. You've done small hustles, but this is big. What if you catch feelings?" Leila scoffed. "Feelings don't pay bills. I'm doing this for my future." But later that night, as she lay in bed replaying Daniel's voice, deep, calm, caring, she felt something tug inside her, a softness she didn't want to name. She pushed it away. Focus. This was business. Emotional attachment was for fools. Weeks turned into months. Daniel's affection grew. He sent gifts, perfumes, dresses, even a new phone. He called her my Kenyan queen. Leila played the role perfectly. She laughed, listened, and slowly mirrored his dreams. Until one evening, he said it. "Leila, I've never met anyone like you. I want to build a life with you. Come to London." Her heart skipped. This was it. The moment every hustler waits for, the opportunity that could rewrite her destiny. She smiled into the camera. "I'd love that." That night, she sat on her bed, eyes wide open, adrenaline pumping. She could see it all: Heathrow Airport, cold London air, fancy coats, big city lights. And Daniel, her golden ticket. But deep down, she didn't see love. She saw escape. The plane touched down at Heathrow at 6:40 a.m. The sky was pale gray, drizzling lightly, a cold, unfamiliar beauty. Leila pressed her forehead to the window, her heart racing. She had made it, London. The name itself tasted expensive on her tongue. As she stepped into the terminal, the cold bit through her jacket. She pulled her scarf tighter, scanning the crowd for the man she'd only known through a glowing screen. Then she saw him. Daniel stood by arrivals, tall and clean-cut, in a charcoal coat. He smiled, the kind of smile that reached his eyes, and for the first time, Leila felt something twist inside her. This was real. He was real. And he looked at her like she was his whole world. Leila. Daniel. When they hugged, her body stiffened at first, then melted. He smelled like cedarwood and comfort. "You're even more beautiful in person," he said softly. Her laugh came easy, practiced, but the warmth in her chest was. She had told herself this was business, a mission. But standing there, in his arms, with London humming around them, something in her heart began to question everything. Daniel's house was in Richmond, leafy, quiet, and far from the chaos she knew. The apartment was modern, spotless, with framed art and warm lighting. Leila's eyes darted from the marble counters to the big windows. She'd imagined it, yes, but seeing it felt like stepping into someone else's life. "Make yourself at home," Daniel said. "This is your home now." Your home. The words hit harder than she expected. No man had ever said that to her. She smiled, murmured a thank you, and quietly promised herself, "Don't fall for him. Stick to the plan." That first week was a dream. Daniel took her sightseeing, Big Ben, London Eye, tea at Covent Garden. He introduced her as my girlfriend to friends who greeted her warmly. He insisted she rest, adapt, and enjoy life. She cooked Kenyan food for him, chapati, pilau, stew, and he loved it. At night, they'd sit by the fireplace, talking for hours. He'd ask, "What do you dream of, Leila?" She'd reply, "A life where I don't have to struggle." He'd smile and say, "Then let's build that together." Every word, every gesture, he meant it. And every time he looked at her, guilt pricked deeper. One evening, as snow drifted past the window, Daniel knelt down in front of her with a small velvet box. "Leila, I don't want to imagine life without you. Will you marry me?" Her breath caught. She had imagined this moment 100 times, practiced her smile, even planned her Instagram caption. But now, facing him, her throat tightened. This was it, the door to everything she'd hustled for. Visa, money, security. And yet the man before her wasn't a mark. He was kind, sincere, vulnerable. She blinked back tears, whispered, "Yes." He slid the ring onto her finger, kissed her hand, and hugged her tightly. She closed her eyes, wishing she could silence the whisper in her heart, "You don't deserve this." Weeks later, after their quiet wedding at a registry office, Daniel began the paperwork for her spouse visa. He wanted her settled, happy. He planned trips, bought her clothes, and opened a joint account. "We're a team now," he said. Leila smiled, but something in her was unraveling. Each kindness felt like a mirror, held to her lies. She began to pull away, lost in thoughts she couldn't share. She'd video call Sasha at night, whispering, "I should be happy, but I'm not. I lied to him, Sash. I came here for a passport, but he's good to me." "Then tell him the truth," Sasha urged. "And lose everything." Silence. Leila wiped her tears, staring at the ring on her finger. For the first time, she wondered if success built on deceit could ever bring peace. But secrets don't sleep forever. One day, while cleaning up, Daniel found Leila's old notebook, the one she carried from Nairobi. Inside were notes, scribbled plans, and even Sasha's messages about the visa mission. His chest went cold. Each word cut deeper. "Don't catch feelings. Get the ring, get the visa." He sat in silence, the weight of betrayal sinking in. That evening, when Leila came home, humming softly, she found him seated on the couch, holding the notebook. "Leila," he said quietly, "what is this?" Her heart stopped. She froze, eyes on the notebook, blood draining from her face. There it was, the truth she thought she could bury. "Daniel, please, it's not what it looks like." So you didn't plan all this. His voice trembled, hurt, not anger. Was any of it real? Me, us? Leila stepped forward, tears welling. I swear it started as a plan. I was desperate. I thought if I just got out, I'd find peace. But then I met you and I. Stop! He stood up, voice breaking. You used me, Leila, for a passport, for money, for a dream you didn't even want to share. I didn't mean to fall for you, she cried. But I did. I love you now, Daniel, please. You love me now, he laughed bitterly. After the lies, after you played me like a project. Tears rolled down her face. For the first time, the hustler had no words, no plan, just raw regret. Daniel turned away. I need space. I can't look at you right now. He left the house, leaving her trembling by the door, clutching the notebook that had exposed her. That night, Leila sat on the cold floor, staring at her reflection in the dark window. The London lights twinkled outside, mocking her. She had everything she'd prayed for, and now she'd lost the only thing that truly mattered. I wanted freedom, she whispered, voice cracking. Now I'm just empty. The house felt colder, without Daniel's warmth. Every wall, every cushion, every framed photo reminded Leila of the life she had built on sand. She stayed in the guest room, sleepless. Days turned into weeks. Daniel spoke little. He left early, came home late, his eyes distant. He didn't yell, didn't curse. His silence was punishment enough. Each morning, Leila would watch him from the kitchen, wanting to speak, but fear choked her words. She cleaned, cooked, waited, as though trying to earn forgiveness with service. But nothing broke the ice. The man who once held her face with tenderness now barely met her gaze. One rainy evening, she gathered courage. Daniel, she whispered, standing by the doorway, please let me explain. He didn't look up from his laptop. Leila, there's nothing to explain. I read your words. I know what I meant to you. You meant everything, she said, voice trembling. I came with the wrong heart, but I stayed because you showed me what love really is. He closed the laptop, eyes heavy with pain. Love isn't a lesson, Leila, it's trust, and you broke that. She nodded, tears spilling. I know, I deserve every bit of your silence. He sighed, rubbing his temples. I need to breathe. Maybe you should go home, be with your people. Go home. The words cut deeper than she expected. That night, she packed her bags slowly, folding dresses she once wore to fancy dinners, staring at the ring still on her finger. It glimmered like a wound. At Heathrow, Daniel stood beside her, expression unreadable. He helped with her luggage, but said little. When the final call echoed, Leila turned to him, voice breaking. Thank you for everything. I'll never forget what you gave me. He nodded, eyes glistening. I hope you find peace. No hug, no goodbye kiss, just distance, cold, final. As she boarded, tears blurred her vision. She had wanted the world and lost the heart that held it. Back to Nairobi. Pipeline hadn't changed. The same vendors, the same noise, the same dust. But Leila had. She walked through the familiar streets feeling smaller, not because of poverty, but because she finally saw the value of honesty. She sold her fancy coats, gave away her bags, and started small, really small. A genuine business this time. No shortcuts, no games. She opened a tiny perfume kiosk in town, naming it True Scent. Each bottle she sold reminded her of Daniel, how he once told her, the real things last. Days became months. She grew quieter, softer, the spark still there but humbled. Sasha noticed it one afternoon as they shared lunch. You're different now, Sasha said. Pain does that, Leila smiled faintly. It cleans the soul. One evening, as she was closing shop, a familiar voice behind her said, Still love that sandalwood scent. Leila froze. She turned. Daniel stood there, hands in pockets, eyes gentle. For a moment, the world stilled. Nairobi's noise faded. Daniel, she whispered. I was in town for work, he said softly. Thought I'd see your shop, it suits you. She nodded, struggling to speak. I'm sorry for everything. I wanted to tell you 100 times. You don't have to, he said. I read your messages, you've changed. She blinked, confused. How? Sasha reached out months ago. She told me how hard you've worked. I wanted to see for myself. Tears welled. I don't expect forgiveness. Forgiveness isn't for you, he smiled softly. It's for me. I couldn't carry that anger anymore. She stepped closer, voice trembling. Do you still love me? He studied her face. No makeup, no pretense, just Leila. I never stopped. I just needed you to find the woman you were meant to be. A tear slid down her cheek. He reached up, brushed it away gently. Come back with me, he said. Not as a plan, as my partner. She laughed through tears. This time, I'll bring truth instead of lies. He smiled. That's all I ever wanted. They walked through the Nairobi streets hand in hand. Two souls scarred, but mended proof that love can rise from ruin, that truth heals what deceit destroys. Leila glanced at him and whispered, Guess I finally got my passport. To where? He teased. To love, the real kind. He laughed softly, kissed her forehead, and together they disappeared into the crowd, not chasing dreams anymore, but living them. Sparkles the end sparkles.